It is about that time again. We're coming up on the All-Star game, so let's run through my picks, my controversial picks for the All-Star team this year. This episode, I'm just going to do the National League squad. We're going to do the American League squad in the next video, so be sure to tune in tomorrow. Playing first base, we have none other than the polar bear, Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso has put up a 291 average this year, 17 bombs so far, 63 ribbies, and a 948 OPS. The New York Mets have the best record in all of baseball this year, and it's no wonder why the polar bear, Pete Alonso, gets the nod at first base this season. For a couple of these, I could see myself doing a little bit of an honorable mention because this was super close in my opinion. Freddie Freeman gets the nod on the bench. He's hitting 332 again, but this team is just so stacked. You know, I think Pete is the lone guy contributing to his team right now. I think Freddie doesn't have nearly as many RBIs. The OPS is around the same, and he doesn't have as many homers. Not that he's a home run guy, but he's not very quick around the bases. So his 332 average driving and runs is great, but you'd think he'd have more ribbies hitting behind Shohei. I just like the polar bear and how much he's contributed to that Mets offense, making them the best team in baseball so far in the first half. Our second baseman for the National League squad, we got Brendan Donovan. Played a lot of left field last year, now transitioned to full-time second baseman. He is hitting 323 for the Cardinals with almost a 900 OPS. He is really one of the only highlights left on this squad. Paul Goldschmidt is now out of town. Nolan Arenado is still there, but he is not going to get the nod at third base. Spoiler alert, but he hasn't been having the best year. I know a lot of people have picked other players for this position, and it's a pretty tough one, mostly because the National League second baseman isn't stacked at all. Mostly because the National League second baseman isn't that great of a position. So you get somebody who plays some really good defense, hits some for some really good average, hitting 323. That is my pick for second base. Honorable mention for this list is Ketel Marte. He's hitting 280 with a 931 OPS, and you know what you're getting from this guy. He's one of the best second basemen in all of baseball. I just think the front half of this year, Donovan has had the better first half, but with 12 homers and 23 RBIs, you know what you're getting out of Ketel Marte. He's been a little bit injured to start this year, but if you picked Ketel Marte and disagree with me because you want Ketel Marte, I'm not going to argue with you because he is one hell of a player, including the first half of this season as well. At third base, we got the man himself, the face of the franchise. Manny Machado is having a hell of a start to the year. The Braves have been so good to start this year in 2025. They had the best record in baseball there for a little bit. Manny Machado is one of the main reasons why. You know exactly what you're getting from him at third base. He's still one of the best defensive third basemen in baseball, and nobody can take that away from him. He's got one of the best arms. He's got great reactions. Apart from maybe Matt Chapman and Nolan Arenado, Manny's been up there on the list of defensive third basemen since the start of his career with Baltimore. He's kept it going into his 30s now, and I think it's about time we give him another nod at the All-Star game. At the plate, Manny's hitting 312 with 11 homers, 45 RBIs, and an 873 OPS. He's absolutely slinging the bat around this year. Not only is he performing well, but Manny Machado has evolved and matured into this likable character and one of the great leaders of this team for all these young guys. I call him young. Tatis isn't that young anymore for sure, but to lead these young guys into battle and for another postseason run against none other than the Dodgers. They got to compete with them in the NL West all year again. And if they make it in the wild card, I think that the Padres will probably win a series or two because of this guy here. Let's talk about National League shortstop for a minute, because I think there's a lot of people that love a couple players in this spot, and I ignored all signs. I went with my boy, my hometown hero, my Pookie Bear, Trey Turner. You can call me a fanboy all you want. You can call me biased all you want. The man deserves this. Trey Turner leads the National League, not only the National League, he leads the major leagues in all hits in baseball this year. He's got 9 homers, 34 RBIs, over an 800 OPS for a shortstop. He's hitting over 304. That obviously plays into leading the MLB in hits. I think if you have a record like that, you deserve to be in there somewhere. And I think starting National League shortstop is exactly where he belongs. People love talking about his defense, but I think this year is the perfect time to bring up the fact that in 2023 and 2024, he posted a horrid -24 defensive runs saved and -5 outs above average. He sucks in every category. However, 2025 in the first half, he's posted only a -2 defensive runs saved and he's +3 in outs above average. He has absolutely turned around his defensive game in the first half of 2025, and I think that's something he needs to be recognized for. He's still, don't get me wrong, he's not going to win the Gold Glove by any means, but somebody who can improve their defense that much and still lead Major League Baseball in hits is somebody that deserves to start it. The honorable mention and backup for this spot is obviously Francisco Lindor. He's obviously way better with the glove. He's going to win another Gold Glove probably this year. He has been electric at the shortstop position. He's a little worse with the bat. You know, he doesn't hit as well for average. However, he does have more home runs. He's got more RBIs. The OPS quite doesn't match either. And again, I know this is a highly contentious point of National League All-Star team. So if you picked Francisco Lindor for your team, I really don't have a problem with that. I think Frankie and Trey should be the 2 shortstops. No matter who starts and who's the backup, really doesn't bother me. I think they both have had such good starts to the year in separate categories. So piggybacking off of that, for National League catcher, there is nobody else to pick. It is Will Smith. It's the only catcher you should be picking. Carson Kelly, of all people, is coming in second here. There's nobody that even scrapes the surface and comes into any contention with Will Smith this year. He's one of the main reasons the Dodgers have been as good as they have been. He has been absolutely electric to start the year. Now, catchers aren't exactly supposed to be great with the bat. They're supposed to be big defensive guys that end up being able to be serviceable with the bat. Will Smith is a catcher that hits 4th in the Dodgers lineup, or 5th, depending on who's in, who's healthy. He is hitting .333. Like, that is absurd. He's driving in the most runs on the team. He's already at 41 ribbies. And when you hit behind guys like Shohei and Freddie, all you got to do is put the ball in play. He's going to have so many good pitches thrown to him. This Dodgers lineup is so long. They have to get through Shohei. They have to get through Freddie. And then this guy steps up to the plate. He's a catcher with a 966 OPS. There's nobody that even comes close. Will Smith, welcome to the starting catcher for the National League All-Star team. Moving on to the outfield. I got a couple of young guys in this. Got a vet in there too. My starting outfielders. First, Pete Crow Armstrong. He has been electric this season, posting a .270 average with 19 homers and 58 ribbies already. He's got an .857 OPS while being the best defensive center fielder in Major League Baseball and one of the fastest players around the bases. He's dangerous in all 5 tools. PCA is one of the reasons these Cubbies are winning ball games left, center, and right. Not to mention, it is going to be proven that he will break the StatCast system. I was looking, they were talking about it the other day on my TV, that he will break StatCast catch probability as soon as he makes one of these catches that's considered a 0% probability catch. He's getting so close to these balls that have 0% catch probability that when he finally does catch one, he will be the first one to break the system. Pete Crow Armstrong, you are my starting center fielder for the National League All-Star team. In right field, we're going with his teammate, Kyle Tucker. He's been hitting the cover off the ball in 2025. He's hitting .284 with 13 homers and 43 ribbies. He's still hitting with an over 900 OPS. One of the other reasons that the Cubbies are winning ball games and actually look like a playoff team this year. He's another guy that's pretty dangerous in all 5 tools. He's got power, he hits for average, he's got a little bit of speed, and he plays a pretty good right field for a guy who's really in the lineup for his bat. Chicago Cubs team is absolutely carried by their outfielders, and Kyle Tucker is just one of those examples. We got him at right field for our National League All-Star team. This one might be a bit of a contentious one. However, every team has to have an all-star in there. James Wood absolutely deserves his spot on this all-star team, and I got him starting as my left fielder. There's nobody I want more than him out there raking homers. He leads the Washington Nationals with 18 homers. He's got a .282 batting average, 52 ribbies already, hitting over .925 in the OPS category. This is a guy that cannot be stopped to start the 2025 season. And just to clarify why I got a couple of young guns in this spot, under 25 years old, looking at WRC plus this year, which is obviously one of the best ways to calculate how good a player is at hitting. You got the weighted runs created. We're scoring runs here, people. That's how you win ball games. Weighted runs created plus, where 100 is the average, of course. James Wood, 152 WRC plus. Are you kidding? He is 50 points better than the average hitter in runs created. He's the only reason that Washington's winning ball games. They're on an 11-game losing streak right now. It's James Wood versus the world over there. And finally, that brings us to our designated hitter, hitting .292 with 25 homers and a 1 OPS. We got none other than the Shohei Ohtani. As much as I would have loved to put my boy Kyle Schwarber in this spot, ain't nobody even comes close to Shohei. And I'm not counting Rafi Devers because he just got traded. However, if I am counting him as a San Francisco Giant, he still doesn't compare. I mean, it is the Shohei Ohtani. It does not need explaining. If you guys disagree with this pick, that's your own problem. That is the list. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Look out for the American League part that will be out tomorrow. And I will see you guys all later. Peace.